Hello everyone, welcome to another Ismono podcast. And today I have with me two people from a company that comes from the country where my parents are from, which is Indonesia. It's Life Behind Bars. And today I have with me Aldo and Deus. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me on this podcast. And maybe let's start with a quick introduction of both of you, and maybe start with Aldo first.
Hey, Bo. Thanks for having us. So, my name is Aldo Plato. You can call me Aldo. I'm the co-founder of LBB, and day to day, I'm the creative director as well.
Okay, so my name is Nawaf Hussein, actually, but to familiarize my name with a lot of new people, I go by Deusen or Deus. So I'm currently the lead product design here at LBB. And right now, on my back, there is our newest,
so cool.
Our newest workshop, where we will do like a bunch of new activities, like maybe content creation, something like that.
That's so cool. And I really have to say before we start, I love how you do your product videos. They look so amazing, and I really like the background and this.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
dude.
giving this shop feel and where magic is happening. It looks so good, so good. So maybe let's start a little bit for the people who don't know the brand yet. Can you tell us a little bit about how Life Behind Bars started, and maybe also maybe a little bit about the name? I know where it comes from, but maybe you can a little bit elaborate where the name is coming from and what kind of sparked the idea to create this brand.
Right. So back in 2010, me and my partner Kevin, we had a cycling blog, and it was on Tumblr. I don't know if you remember Tumblr.
Oh, good old times.
Right. So in the beginning, it wasn't even a brand that produces anything. It was just a name. We just had a name and a logo, and we were just documenting our rides, posting it on Tumblr, reposting a lot of Tumblr posts. It wasn't until 2013 that I wanted to take this more seriously and make products. So, whenever people ask, like, the brand was conceived in 2010, but, it wasn't until 2013 that we start making products, and our actual launch was actually 2014. So, as the name suggests, Life Behind Bars is, a play on words. So as opposed to like prison bars, this is like a bicycle handlebar. Which is me and Kevin's passion, still is. So at the time, we primarily design bags for cycling commuters, and it kind of evolved over time until today. That is still our core market. But I feel like we've expanded our market beyond cycling, so transcended our core market, so to speak. What else is there to say?
So would you say that bicycling and riding a bicycle basically is the most influential part how you design your bags, or do you kind of started to venture out a little bit, or is that something you concentrate on? So It's good for someone who's on a bicycle?
Yeah, definitely. So the first 5 years, you could say exclusively design bags for commuters and messengers as well. That is how we got started. That's the community that gave birth to us. So that is our core market, and looking back now, it all makes sense in a way that cyclists are some of the most demanding type of customer. They are some of the most discerning type of customers. So by catering to them, we inadvertently make bags that are appealing for people who don't even require that much from a bag. So
Yeah.
so when you ride, you automatically require more than the average person, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you'll need something that is more ergonomic.
More weatherproof.
You'll need something that weatherproof, both rain and heat and hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
of
hot
course.
where we're from.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so color, fabric discoloration is a thing that we need to keep in mind.
Wow. I didn't think of that. Good
And
point.
so yeah, so the bar was set pretty high, actually, and I think what in retrospect, while we didn't, this wasn't on purpose, but we were just making bags that we want to use ourselves, right?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
but by doing so, we made something that ticks a lot of boxes. Even though it might be overkill for everyday users, we've started to see. I mean, after year 5, we've started to see many people outside of our core market started adopting. Part of it is also due to the design being casual and timeless,
But also different. I feel like you have designs that are different from other brands just because you have a different core market, but also because I feel like you have a different appeal or design language than other brands. And now knowing that you kind of take into consideration the like discoloration, you have to kind of hit the mark for bicycle riders who ride in rain. I think that is very appealing and very attractive to the regular people, right? Because everyone is looking for something that is durable, but most people probably don't think about fabrics getting discolored in the sun, right? So that is amazing, actually. I didn't think of that you kind of think about all of those things because you're bicycle riders. That's so cool. So what's your both your design background? Where have you started to design? Did you always do soft goods?
My background is actually graphic design.
Oh, cool.
And prior to starting the company, I worked in varying scales of design studios and agencies. So my first foray into product was actually self-taught, but I see a lot of parallels from graphic design to product design. A lot of the principles that are in graphic design also applies in product.
Oh, that's cool.
So it wasn't a hard transfer. So also my girlfriend at the time taught me how to sew. So
That's so cool.
I started a few prototypes myself before handing it over to a better seamster, and that's how it got started. But
cool.
My experience in the graphic design space actually helps a lot when shaping the brand in the beginning. So
because it also helps you to kind of communicate what you want. It's so easy just to paint it and scribble out the sketch, That's so cool.
Right. Yeah,
How would
I
you
had
do
to
this?
think.
How did you start with designing, Deus?
Oh, okay. So for me, I joined Left Behind Bars roughly like 3 years ago,
Okay.
and prior to that, I wasn't really sure about the whole this soft goods or carry goods,
Yeah.
but there is something like I was into military tactical like soft goods back then,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Ospreys, 511, and such.
Yeah.
And it fascinates me like what length people would go to design a durable bag, and not also durable, but it's really, really like utilitarian and functional and all that. And it got me into the soft goods. Okay. So after the military stuff, I went on looking for like the more lifestyle bags.
Yeah.
There I stumbled upon the Cote Etiel brand. It was
Oh. Oh.
it was one
Yeah.
of my biggest influence in soft goods design.
Yeah.
So when I finished my study, which is product design, um, I went straight to Life Behind Bars, and the kind people in Life Behind Bars accepted me, and so here I am right now.
Making the team complete. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I would really love to know a little bit more about you too, just to kind of understand how your personal preferences kind of influence your designs. And I would love to know, maybe starting with you, Aldo, what do you usually carry on a daily basis? So, because
Oh,
I just
wow.
want to know what you carry to kind of understand what kind of bag you usually need. So,
Gotcha.
what do you carry?
It's funny that what I carry evolves over time.
Okay.
And it's reflected in the kind of product that we make, because even until today, that philosophy of making something that we actually want to use is still in place.
Yeah.
So back then, our initial products were the Echelon and the Peloton, which is like a big roll top bag,
Yeah.
and a big messenger bag, which mirrored what I used to carry back in the day. I used to carry just about everything. Like my whole philosophy was I might need this, so might as well carry everything.
I know. It was the same.
But then over time, I adopt more of a minimalist approach, and I guess from experience, I start cutting down on the things that I don't eventually use.
Okay.
So I start cutting down on what I carry. It's like, for example, laptop. I now switch to a desktop. So at home and where I work,
Yeah.
I use two different desktops.
Okay.
So in between, I've scaled down to just an iPad for my mobile computing. So that not having to carry a charger most of the time.
Yeah.
So not only
Huge
that the
difference.
device itself downsizes, but I also don't need to carry a charger, and I don't have to carry a sleeve most of the time because it's protected by
Yeah.
the keyboard, right? So I've downsized my device, but other than that, it's the usual rain jacket, and then, well, I still carry a lot of tech peripherals,
Cables, mouse, and stuff like that.
chargers, power banks. It's just that it used to be a big brick, but
Yeah.
now with GAN charger,
Yeah.
like something this big can charge my iPad. So
And are you a pouch? Do you kind of, because those are all like small items, right? The cable, the charger. Do you just throw it in the bag, or do you use a pouch or something?
I'm a pouch person,
Okay,
so hence our recent products are
Yeah.
our pouch organizers. So like I
So
said,
because that's where I'm going at, right? So just to
that's
just
a
to
good
understand
segue.
why do you design stuff like that? And
Right.
am I assuming correctly? You use Apple products, probably, right?
I
Not
do,
me.
but yeah, Deusen is a PC guy actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm just asking just to understand where you're coming from, because I'm using a big mouse. This doesn't fit any pouch, right? So
Right,
if you're
right.
using a magic mouse, I can understand why you design some slots in a way. So that's why I'm asking, are you using a magic mouse, or are you using something bigger?
Okay, this might be getting too technical. So on iPad, I do use a Magic Mouse simply because the
Okay.
scroll is nicer on the OS. But on my desktop, I also use
Yeah, right.
an
It doesn't fit
MX.
anywhere, right? It doesn't fit in any bag. It's too
Yeah, so
big.
that's why I bought this as well.
Oh,
So a
wow.
case that
Okay.
is specifically for the MX.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And it's kind of hard, so it protects
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
So, but I get what you mean though. It's I don't know if we should like design a pouch that is specifically made for like a larger mouses. So
It's difficult, but that's what I'm saying. I see so many features in other brands, and I see, oh, this is just designed for Apple products. There is for an AirPod Max. This is for a Magic Mouse. So that's why I'm asking. So I find it so interesting how people pack. And do you usually? So you have your iPad, some cables and stuff like that, a rain jacket. Do you also bring some like a lunchbox or anything when you go to work, or is that something that you care to put in your bag, or have you kind of minimalized it that now coming from Peloton nowadays you can carry like a small 14-liter messenger bag? Have you downsized that much for yourself?
I do bring lunch boxes from time to time, but not every day.
Yeah.
But even with lunch boxes, I don't mind carrying it this way.
Yeah,
since
sure.
it's airtight.
Yeah.
I know it's not ideal, but so my current go-to is the transition tote. If you compare it with what I used to carry, it's downsized comparably, but it still fits a lot, especially since it has like a decent amount of sidewall, and the top expands a little bit as well, but it fits perfectly for my needs today. It's the fact that it doesn't fit everything kind of puts a cap on what I should carry.
I know.
It's one of those things that there has to be a cap. You have to put like a hard limit on yourself, because otherwise you would just
you carry too much.
Exactly. Like if I carry a huge bag, like I have this knack of having to fill it to the brim, right?
Yeah, I know that feeling. Thank you so much for the answer. How about you, Deus? I kind of feel like, in my gut feeling, that Deus, I kind of have a gut feeling that you're similar like me, and you pack a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right?
I'm getting into that. Actually, I used to like pack bug out bag. If you're familiar with that.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's okay. So like, I don't know, maybe when there is like crisis or like apocalypse, you could just like grab a bag and then just haul somewhere. Yeah, I used to pack a bunch of bug out bags, and then I would place it in like my room, and then anywhere else, even my school. I have bug out bags. Okay, so even now I still carry med packs like everywhere with my transition bag. So okay, eventually I would like filter a lot of stuff, like figuring out what fits the kind of bag that I want to, because initially I used to like carry backpacks a lot, and sometimes I realized that carrying backpacks is not really suitable if you're like going to malls, going to hangouts because it's so bulky in the back.
Yeah.
So
I see.
that's why, like, recently having to wear like a really simple tote bag that can transform into a backpack with like still a narrow silhouette somehow. It really helps me like to adjust my look, how I look in certain places. Yeah.
I like
And-
that. That answer is so good because now I kind of understand why you designed a transition tote. So
Yeah.
that's why I like to ask these questions, right? Because now
Yeah.
I get why you made that bag. Okay, that's so cool. Okay, yeah. Sorry
so-
to interrupt you.
Okay, so the next thing about the transition tote, I guess, when you, so I'd like to blend in we like to blend in the traditional tote bag with like what can we do with tote bags, right?
yeah,
So
I see.
the void that is the main compartment of the transition tote. The point is that you stow it away and you forget about it, and you can fill it to the brim, and you can even like collapse the rolls up, so you can just reach out and grab maybe a pouch. This is my med pack.
What's in there? That looked like, wow.
It's sort of like I don't know. It's a dry bag. I bought it from IKEA. So I
that's
decided
cool.
there is
so disinfect stuff and
disinfectants like
okay.
alcohol.
But I mean, you're on a
Band-Aids.
bicycle. I understand that it makes a lot of sense to have a med pack with you if you get into an accident or something, right? So that's understandable. Okay, what else is in the bag then? What else do you have in there? That was your personal bag, right?
Yeah, I also like to store. This is my toiletries.
Yeah.
So even now, I'd like to think when I pack something, I don't know, I still pack light, but I can survive like maybe 2-day stops outside without having any shelter.
I see. Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'd like, I still like to bring a lot of stuff. I have like multi-tools. I have like, this is my half pouch. I always bring like screwdrivers around, and then like a bunch of nuts, like so you can. Who knows? If I don't bring any of this, suddenly you will need it.
Yeah. So
I don't know why.
But those are the tools to repair your bicycle, right? If you
you could use it to repair bikes, and then I don't know.
Wow.
The rest is I even bought a lighter, nail clippers. Spare masks.
Yeah. And is that attached onto the transition tote, or do you pack it inside the transition tote?
Personally, I'd like to pack it inside because I like my transition fairly clean.
Yeah, I can see that.
I only attach this like disinfectant. This is a collapsible ruler, and this is like bungee cords.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
If I put like maybe orange or fluorescent green bungees, it can create like a whole new look for the transition.
Yeah. Why do you need a ruler on there? What do you use the ruler for? The yellow thing.
Oh, ruler. Oh, this is only like, this is basically just a bag charm. You can like extend.
Oh, it's just for fun. It's not, you don't use it. Oh, okay.
But you know, something to start the conversation with.
Yeah. It just started the conversation.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And do you don't carry a computer on a daily basis?
No, because I use PC in this office.
Okay.
So, personally, I use gaming laptop. I use a Lenovo Legion. And I would like add another sleeve to the transition tote because the sleeve is like fit for the maybe 15-inch MacBook, but for my laptop it's 16 inches.
Yeah, the Legion is also like this thick, right?
This really thick. It's almost
really
like
thick, right?
2 centimeters.
Something
like that.
So I assume, so we already answered a little bit how you gotten into designing bags. I just would like to kind of elaborate a little bit more. I assume both of you take the bicycle for commuting a lot, probably to work, right?
I can take this one. Yeah, so Deusen is one of the guys in LBB who doesn't ride a bike.
Yeah.
So back to my initial answer about initially we designed, exclusively for cyclists, but beyond year 5. By the way, we're on year 11 now.
Yeah, I know. That's amazing.
Beyond year 5, that's when we started to, expand our products. So even within us, it's a nice to have. Like if you're a cyclist, then that's a good thing. But that's not a requirement to join us at all. Like and the perspective of people who aren't from the cycling community is also it's good to have in the team so that we have a diverse perspective.
Can you maybe elaborate a little bit about, I assume that most of my viewers don't really know a lot about like this high enthusiast bicycling community. Can you a little bit elaborate how the features that you need to make a bag for bicyclists, what are the pros? I mean, what are the benefits of a bicycling specific design that you add to the bag? Can you tell us a little bit more about those benefits?
Right. So I've answered some of it in the beginning. So
exactly. Yeah.
So well-designed ergonomics, weatherproofing. Weatherproofing is something that's interesting because on the one hand, the more pockets you have, the harder it is to waterproof.
Yeah.
But so our spiel is that we wanted to have bags that have decent organization while still being waterproof. So that was one of the main challenges early on.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've managed to strike that balance between organization and waterproofing. Another thing has to do with visibility, especially at night.
Yeah.
So
the Eclipse series is so good.
Yeah, I was about to get there.
So
but
good.
even the regular products, most of them have reflective strips, in different places, right?
Yeah.
And also places to latch lights on.
Yeah.
So if you feel like the reflective strips isn't enough, there's also a light loops that are going on. So traditionally, the messenger style, not messenger style, but like bags that are worn by messengers, whether it be sling or backpack, that are like 50 liters and above. In 2013, there are still a few messenger companies that are still active, but the number is dwindling down, right? So we kind of take elements from bags that are worn by actual couriers, but scale down some of it and maybe sort of hide elements that are not in use very often, so that making it end user friendly,
that's mainstream friendly,
for lack of a better term. So I've always leaned into this is not exactly a quote, but I've seen in an interview Johnny Ive from Apple once said that if it's not currently being in use, it should not be visible. So I kind of took that to heart and try to hide elements that aren't being used all the time.
Oh, I see.
Things that are only being used some of the time should be detachable or should be able to be hidden away inside flaps and whatnot. Should be able to be rolled into like a smaller, less visible webbing.
So interesting.
So a lot of our early design was how to pack as many features as possible without having it looked like a mountaineering pack. Is basically what we so striking that balance between having an urban look, so elevating the functionality of urban bags,
Yeah.
while making technical packs look more minimal.
It's so interesting because now I really start to get to know you and now to start to understand, oh, that's why you made this and why you did that. And oh, that's so cool. Oh, thank you so much for explaining it.
By the way, other than that, other than reflectives, I feel like our bag looks normal.
Yeah.
So I that's part of the reason why the adoption by non-cyclists is that there are a lot of good rate of adoption by non-cyclists. I've always liked to use a metaphor of the shoe brand Vans. So because they are a skate shoes, right?
Yeah.
But because they look so normal, so casual, there a lot of people adopt the shoes.
Makes sense.
But it's adopted by the mainstream, So which become the fans of today. Like everyone wears Vans, even though initially it was specifically made for skating.
I really like this. Gives so much more perspective on your brand. That's very interesting. Do you think also, now that you kind of elaborated in terms of how your bicycling background influenced your designs for the product, do you also feel like that the climate and the weather of Indonesia, being on one hand very hot and on one hand there's a lot of rain, right? Do you think that does that influence your bags or your design for the bags much more, or do you always have that in mind? Okay, we have to prepare for rain season, so we need to make this bag a specific way. Does that influence that a lot?
Honestly, when it comes to weather protection, we did not really design it specifically for Indonesian weather, because so we only have 2 seasons, right? Summer and rain.
Yeah.
But the summer in a 4-season country is even hotter than it is in Indonesia. So when it comes to heat, I don't think we have Indonesia in mind. But rather, what can we use so that it sustains weather? So, for example, about fabric discoloration, it can happen just about everywhere, right? So especially with fabrics that are dyed, primarily woven fabrics. For our flagship products, we make sure it uses fabrics that has good color fastening. Cordura is one of the example. The other being X-Pac. These are companies that color fastening is has been tested over time.
Yeah.
Whereas non-woven fabric doesn't suffer from discoloration as much. So we try to make sure that at least the flagship ones uses high quality materials.
I see. And how about rain? Can you a little bit elaborate on that? What goes through your head? I mean, you already said that the more pouches or the more compartment it has, the more difficult it gets to make it more rain or weatherproof. How do you kind of decide on that, especially with the rain in mind? Because I mean, for anyone who's listening who doesn't know, I mean, the rain in Indonesia is crazy, right? In some of the month. So how does that? Where do you strike a balance, and how do you kind of plan for that when you design a bag?
I'll start, but maybe after Deus can jump
Yeah.
in. So for waterproofing, we recently got into welding, but the products have not come out yet, so we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
But traditionally, our way of waterproofing is by using a waterproof membrane, a waterproof inner layer.
I see. Mhm.
But the challenge is to keep the weight down, right? So,
Yeah.
because TPUs are not exactly the lightest material. So, depending on which product, if we use TPU on the underside, we try to use a lighter outer fabric. So, if we use a TPU and we use a Cordura on the outside, we go with 500 denier or below, right?
Okay.
Whereas if the outer is already somewhat waterproof, like an X-Pack, then we can use a liner that aren't as heavy duty as a TPU. So the pairing of the outer and the inner is key, because then you still want to keep the weight, relatively manageable in its class. In regards to pocketing, like for example the echelon, like all the organizations is being put underneath a flap. So as long as the flap is in place, organization is not a problem.
Okay.
We can put a lot of pockets in there, because then it'll get covered by a flap.
Yeah.
It's easy to achieve on flap tops, but on a clamshell or a zip outer, is much harder to make external pockets that are weatherproof.
Sure.
Like, the best we can try is try not to put the zip on the top part. Like, obviously using a urethane coated zippers, such as the YKK
Yeah.
Aqua Guard is one aspect, but the placement of the zippers is also another thing.
Yeah.
So on the transition, we realized that the pouches have zippers all around, so that's harder. So it is water resistant to an extent.
Yeah.
But if it gets if the rain gets too big or too long,
Yeah.
then you need to put it inside the
Yeah,
main
of
compartment
course.
of
Yeah,
the bag.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are
Understandable.
products in our lineup that is also partly waterproof. So some of the compartments are waterproof and some aren't. We try our best to elaborate on the product description and on the videos.
Yeah.
So we feel obliged to let people know that on certain bags, like not all pockets are waterproof. So
I mean, overall, the term waterproof is very difficult,
Yeah.
right? I probably would not call something waterproof, but
It's a
rather,
misconception.
yeah,
Weatherproof. We call it
yeah,
weatherproof.
that's
It's
better.
still,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it still causes misconceptions though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
we're actually planning a post on the different levels
Yeah.
of waterproofing.
Yeah.
So we want to drop knowledge more on that.
That's
so
good. That's good.
and in the future, our products will use our own rating. So it is a spectrum,
that's
right?
cool.
Like, so it's not waterproof and not waterproof, but
Yeah.
rather we want to use 4 levels of waterproofing, and each products will have that rating
Yeah,
in our
that's
website.
a good idea. Okay, Deus, I think you also have something to add.
I have something to add as well. I completely agree about the weatherproofing and the the difference between waterproof and completely waterproof and weatherproof.
Yeah.
So what we can do aside from like using a flap top or using a roll top, just to like if there's a zipper or there's a pocket, the water will seep through, right?
Yeah.
And then there is like inner lining with PU coated inner lining, and to add on to that, we also have what we call is the floating inner liner. So, for example, in the transition zone, I just emptied this.
Yeah.
If you pull the lining, it shows the lining completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this way the bag is more weatherproof than if you would like to sew the panels together.
Yeah.
Because essentially, when you when there's
Stitch it,
rain,
there are holes.
yeah, yeah. If there's a floating inner lining, the water regression will be reduced because of the seam isn't really touching each other. So it will increase the weatherproofing. On top of that, we also have this roll top that prevents the rain.
Yeah.
Okay, so given that, the outer pockets is exposed to the rain, right? But the main compartment isn't interrupted with the rain because of that inner lining compartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. We tried to maybe how do we get a good weatherproofing with clamshell bags. But honestly, there is no such thing as completely waterproof clamshells or bags. To me personally.
I also want to add that in most of our bags, we seal the seams from the inside.
Yeah.
Not every single seam, because that would be costly, but rather strategic places that water are most likely to seep in from. And so in the example of using a floating liner, the liner is also being seam taped from the inside. So even if water managed to seep through the needle holes from the outside, it doesn't automatically come into contact with the items because there's still a liner
in between.
So that's the thing about traditional, we're not talking about welding fabrics. Traditionally constructed sewn bags, so even though the fabric is waterproof, water can still seep in from the needle holes, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's why it's imperative.
Exactly.
That's why we need to come up with strategies such as floating liners and then seam ceilings. So
maybe welding.
And we need to be creative on which ones to seal, to keep the cost down.
Yeah, thank you so much for explaining that, because I've seen a couple of comments in the past. Why is the liner floating when I pull out stuff? The inner lining comes with it comes outside. And now knowing why you designed it this way makes so much sense, and is actually a really good positive. So that's so cool that you designed it that way. Now I would love to know from you two, being in Indonesia, what's the bag community like in Indonesia, or in Jakarta? For example, in Germany, the bag enthusiast space, from what I know, isn't that big. It's not. Most of the bag enthusiasts are either in USA, and now I also know there are a lot of bag enthusiasts in Hong Kong and Japan. How is it like in Jakarta? Is there a big community of bag enthusiasts?
There's a few, but we don't necessarily have a community that is specifically for bags, but rather
activities.
And so we have a forum called Daraku Biru. It started as a denim forum, but it has sub forums that talks about other stuff as well. So there's technical wear, there's bags. It is a place where people who love who are apparel nerds hang out. The sub community, there is a sub community that loves technical bags as well. But like I said, the number isn't that many, and it's maybe we should start like our own community. Like, I don't know, as opposed to like being lumped together with other types of apparel. Maybe we should create our own Discord channel or something. And
that's a good idea.
but I've seen the numbers growing over time though. Like I said, I've been in the industry 11 years now, and compared to like 10 years ago, I've seen the numbers starts raising. So being in a third world country, the kind of pricing that we have, just to be clear, it's not expensive for what it is, but introducing it to the Indonesian market, it wasn't easy in the beginning.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because we weren't used, at least back in the day, we weren't used to bags that are priced within the premium category.
Yeah.
Even though premium is also a spectrum, right? So within that premium spectrum, we're still somewhat affordable. So, but in the beginning, we hear people saying, "Wow, that's way too expensive for a bag." Like in the past 5 years, we don't hear that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, especially since, you know, in Indonesia, there has been since ever since we came to market, there has been other brands that are priced similar to us, and there are also brands that are priced above us. So that's good for the ecosystem, because that also teaches people that, you know, there's levels to this. And if it's too expensive for you, then it's okay. You can find one that is within your budget. But at least they get the knowledge of, oh, there is such a thing as technical bags, and you know, maybe one day they'll dive into it, even though they're not our market for now.
I see. I have two last questions for both of you. So the first one is a little bit, I know that you obviously have secret projects, and I don't want to kind of tell us about your secrets, but is there something that you can maybe tease a little bit what might be coming out in 2025? Just a little tease.
Okay, so we have a ton of new products that hopefully everything will get released in 2025, but I probably can't reveal everything today.
Of course.
There is one that we can reveal since I don't know when this podcast is gonna go live.
You don't have to fully reveal it. Just like a small tease, maybe
but
a
in
color
about a month's
or whatever.
In about a month's time, we are going to release a hydration pack.
Oh.
So maybe Deus will pick it up. It's behind him. So what I mentioned about our market, in expanding our market, we are trying to expand it in a way that still makes sense. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So not too far away from our core market. So the thing about hydration pack is that we've seen this increasingly being used by long distance cyclists.
Yeah.
And so long distance cyclists put their stuff on the bike. So on bike carry, right? They don't carry big backpacks like commuter does. However, because their bikes are filled with bags, there's nowhere to put water, right? They use a hydration pack. They use a bladder hydration. So they can drink on the go. At the same time, though, this can also be used by trail runners. So it is like an adjacent. Exactly. So it is an adjacent market, but because it can be used by cyclists.
Yeah, yeah.
We feel like it makes sense to make a hydration pack. Like we have the capability. It is used for cycling, but it is also used by trail runners, which is also a hobby that I picked up a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it is still within the realm of things that I want to use myself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there will be a video walkthrough about it, obviously.
That's
but
cool.
for now, that's the teaser. Another thing that I cannot really reveal, I can't reveal what it is, but by the end of the year, we're hoping to do a Kickstarter, our most technical product yet. So can't say what it is, but
yeah, sure.
But maybe when it's live, maybe we can do another podcast and do a deep dive on it. Like we're down to do it.
But I mean that is actually a good reminder for anyone who is listening to don't forget to follow Life Behind Bars at least on Instagram. That would be cool. And for those of you who don't know, they do make cool product videos as well. So also maybe follow the YouTube channel of them. So thank you so much for that small teaser. So my very last question to both of you. I know we talked a lot about bags, but I would love also to know about your everyday carry. Maybe we start with Deus. What's your everyday carry? What do you carry on a daily basis? So in your pockets, I mean. So.
Oh, in my pocket.
Yeah, like everyday carry, like in terms of phone, wallet, keys. What do you carry? Oh wow.
I carry this bundle, for starters. Okay, so it might look cluttered, but if you strip it down, you came down to this. I made this like key fob.
Yeah.
You know,
you made it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I made it myself. It's the key fob that uses Fidlock. You can detach it and you can fan out your keys. I'm using Hypalon, and there's a little carabiner for my
that's so
belt.
cool that you made it yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah, and then I have this little like pocket watch.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
is it mechanical? Is it a mechanical watch?
No, it's battery powered.
Oh, okay.
But it looks so cool because it uses
cool.
like acrylic or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
On my wallet, I don't think it's like a zip wallet, and then I bring Victorinox everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Pens, cards, lots of cards. Still use lots of cards.
Oh, so basically you use instead of a wallet. Yeah, instead of a wallet, you use a. Oh, that's a good idea actually.
Yeah.
So cool.
I combine all of my like. So I only need like phone.
That's an iPhone, right?
No, it's not. It's an Asus Zenfone 10.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
One of the last breed of small phones, which died like last year.
I know.
Yeah, so shame on them, man.
And you carry all of that in your pockets, or do you also carry a sling bag from time to time?
Nah, I only I carry this bundle.
Yeah.
My phone, and then my wallet / pouch with my Victorinox.
Yeah. And as a watch, you have a Casio with a calculator. Oh, that's so cool.
It's the
that's so
cool.
cool.
Fun fact, I wear this since like primary school. My dad gave me.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a cool watch.
Yeah. And it's getting pretty rare today, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's very popular, actually.
You can still sell it for like $200 maybe.
Yeah. Don't sell it.
I won't.
Yeah. Keep it always. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's my everyday carry.
How about you, Aldo? What's your everyday carry?
Okay, I wasn't prepared for this, but so
he's in his home.
my carry is a lot less than Deus, but so pocket wise, so my phone is currently being used for the camera for this
is it an
setup.
iPhone probably, right?
It is an iPhone 15 Pro, and this is a cool product by Fjorden. Shout out. So it is a shutter button that you just this is not the 15, but you just put here, and it becomes a mechanical
that's
control
so cool.
for a camera. It is.
Is it wireless then? Or do you have to connect it via
Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
it clicks mechanically with the purpose-made casing, but then the shutter and the control works via Bluetooth.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wallet I use. So I used to rock a secret card holder.
Yeah.
But turns out I still need to carry some cash.
Yeah,
so I
especially in
switched back
Indonesia.
to a Pioneer
Oh,
bifold.
cool. Yeah.
But this one is the smallest bifold they have, so just enough for cash, so I can still store it on the front pocket, because I don't want to put it on my back pocket.
Yeah.
Power banks.
Yeah.
What else? So field notes.
Oh, you use a field note.
I do.
Do you, as a to
Which I
do?
use to not just for sketching and jotting down notes that I put at the front of my transition.
Oh, that's so good.
Not a lot of. So funny thing you mentioned about Magic Mouse. So on my desktop, I use this, right?
Yeah.
But you're right in saying that I carry a Magic Mouse with me just for the act. So my iPad would be on the back.
Yeah, makes sense.
With the pencil and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's not in here, but obviously rain jacket would go in the main compartment.
Yeah.
And that's about it. So Deus kind of teased a product that we're coming up, which is the key fob, but so similar to that. So I'm rocking a wireless headset, right? So I always carry the thing with me, and so while we're at it, might as well tease another one. So another Fitlock based clip. So
that's
so Deus
cool.
is rocking the fob. I'm rocking the universal clip. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be part of a large ecosystem, but that's all that we can show for now.
Yeah, of course. I thought you made it just for yourself.
Nah, it's R&D. Actually.
Okay. Oh, so cool.
Thanks,
Thank
bro.
you so much for sharing all of that. And thank you so much for taking the time. Where can people find you two, besides the Life Behind Bars Instagram and YouTube channel?
Okay, so my personal Instagram is
if you want to share it, of course.
I rarely post, so I would recommend you to follow LBBJKT instead on Instagram and on YouTube. It's Instagram or youtube.com/LBBJKT. That's me.
As for myself, I'm not too keen on social media as well. But,
I can see that.
I have an Instagram, Nawaf Hussein, if you want to follow, but there's no post in there.
Yeah. So you are on LBBJKT as well. All right. Thank you.
By the way, can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
So we recently saw your review of the transition.
Sure.
Thanks for the review, by the way. So the schedule works super perfectly because we're also coming up with a refreshed transition.
Oh.
Coming somewhere at between end of February or early March.
Yeah.
It's not a major refresh, but it is going to address a couple of things that is your concern in the review. Okay. Particularly the way we switch between tote and backpack mode.
Oh, that's cool.
So it does. The current iteration has an issue of it's not as fluid when switching to backpack mode, right?
Exactly.
In the refresh, we are addressing exactly that. So
wow.
So it's not going to be an issue anymore.
That's so
that and
good.
a couple of other things that we'll announce later. So
honestly, I think I really like the transition. I mean, obviously, I mentioned those negatives, but overall, I think the bag looks amazing. I really
Thanks.
like. I mean, I don't know if you listened to my podcast a week ago where I said this year will be the year of tote bags, and I
Yeah.
think
I did.
this
Yeah.
bag is high up in the list of the tote bags that I like, despite all of those little downside that I mentioned. But I was impressed how much you can fit inside. When I first saw it, I thought like, okay, maybe this and that I can fit
Doesn't look
inside.
that
and then,
big, right?
no, not at all. And then you
Yeah.
put all of your stuff inside. And I mean, I know you've seen the video. I used this big Evergoods cap too, plus a mechanical keyboard, right? And I have so much stuff in there, and I was like, okay, I can put more stuff inside, and that's so cool. So really good design work on making it appear small.
I use it.
Oh,
I use
you
a
have
split keyboard as well.
What's that?
It's a
What's-
Keychron Q11.
Oh, I want to try that. I've
It's
actually,
wired though.
Yeah, I put some watch later reviews in my list because I want to check it out as well. Yeah, I kind
What's
of
yours?
that's the knock-free 65%, and I
Right.
like it because you can split it and then you can tent it. Like so
Yeah.
your hands is
Right.
and I noticed that whenever I go to my MacBook now, that my hands start to kind of feel weird now that I have used an ergonomic
You
keyboard.
missed the tenting.
Yeah, I do. It's so weird now on the MacBook. Yeah, anyways, thank you so much for the update on the transition Toad, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to see the refresh. Again, thank you so much for taking the time and showing all of the intel and the knowledge that you dropped. And
Likewise.
everyone, don't forget to follow Life Behind Bars at LBBJKT on YouTube and Instagram because, as I said, the product videos are very detailed and I like them a lot. And yeah, again, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.